What's going on, guys? Mike here again, and finally I get to review my 500 horsepower Honda S2000. Now I know what you're thinking, where did I get that number, 500 horsepower? But if you didn't know, I did get my fuel problem fixed. I am now tuned on E85 and I hit my goal of 500 horsepower. It is scary as it could possibly be with the tires that I'm running and the width of tires that I'm running. It gets a little squirrely on the high end, but I wanted to give you a quick review of my Honda S2000 and kind of show you why I built it the way I did build it. Built it very purposefully, and what I wanted to do was create my ultimate street car. I wanted it to have AC. I wanted to have enough horsepower to compete with cars today. That's the problem, is that, you know, you got things like Hellcats and GTRs, and I wanted to create my Honda S2000 to mimic those, the performance of those cars. Go. Guys, this car was purposely built for the street. A lot of the stuff and suspension I went with the HKS coilovers, they perform very well at the street. A quick balance of street and track, very nicely done, down to the 3-inch custom exhaust. It is not, surprisingly not too loud, and it doesn't have that annoying high-pitched drone. It has a nice growl to it, as you guys can hear, and then you guys can hear the turbo spool with the blow-off valve. It just gives a nice combination of just aggressiveness, but just not too ricer, you know what I mean? No, you know, not a lot of bark. It has bark and bite at the same time. I love this car. I've wanted this specific car since the movie, I don't know if you guys remember, Heartbreaker came out with Jennifer Love Hewitt. It was probably the first movie that showcases the Honda S2000, and I loved the color. I loved just the car in general. Actually, to tell you a funny story, my sister had this exact same car. I think it was an AP1, a 2000 model. She got it. She actually let me drive it to prom, and I just fell in love with the car, with the top down and everything like that. Loved every bit of the car. It just felt so, you know, it was the closest thing that I ever driven to a sports car. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Why did I go with the setup that I'm going with right now? I went with a full race turbo kit with an EFR turbo, 7670. Specifically, I wanted that turbo because it spools almost instantaneous. For this S2000, the boost kicks in around 32 to 3500 RPM, which a normal day-to-day driving on an S2000 is pretty much every cruising speed that you're at in almost every gear. So the boost, if you just floor it, the boost just kicks in instantaneous. Now, I know there was bigger turbos I could have gone with. I know there was other turbos that would have netted me more top end, higher horsepower numbers, but this is a street car. I wanted something that is fun to drive on the street every single day. I don't necessarily care for, you know, having the highest horsepower car there is. With this 500 horsepower, I'm completely satisfied. Now, if you guys don't know, on the street, with the tires that I'm running, if literally I just floor it, first to second gear, I'm fishtailing all over the place. I wanted this specific car to perform and act a certain way. Now, with the setup that I'm running, I wanted the car to be fun to drive on the street, and I didn't want it to have excess vibration. I didn't want it to, I went with an ACT clutch with a stock pressure plate that is good for my horsepower range. It's probably maxed out if I ever, continually to take it up there. It is maxed out for what I am, so maybe that's why my limitation's about 500 horsepower. But I didn't want to do a twin disc. I didn't want to do a 6-puck or 4-puck because I wanted the clutch to behave just like it would stock. I wanted to have the ability to just give the keys to my sister or my friend and say, hey, drive my car. And they would have absolutely no problem driving it. They would have, they didn't have to relearn how to drive manual again in my car. I want it to be like it almost came from factory. So I went with an ACT clutch with a stock pressure plate. That's a great combination for any of you guys that want 500 horsepower and under. It is a fantastic clutch combination. I think I'm particularly finished with this car. It really feels like a complete car. I wanted the looks, I wanted the speed, and I didn't want the inconvenience and some of the uncomfortableness with other cars or what other people do to their cars. So this is why I believe this S2000 is one of the more ultimate street cars there is. It's comfortable, it's light, it's nimble on the corners, one of the better handling cars out there if you've ever driven an S2000, but I'm totally in love with it. I will probably never ever sell it. So anyway guys, I have a surprise for you. For those of you who subscribe to me, I have a surprise to you in a couple coming days. About 3 to 4 days, there's going to be another video with a surprise for you. I'm excited to show you guys. Yeah, I gotta shut my mouth. I'm excited to show you guys. Please like, please subscribe for future videos. I'm going to do some reviews, future reviews of other cars, and I hope you enjoy. Please like and please subscribe. Until next time, guys, take care.